They called him Skywalker. Not because he walked among stars, but because he remembered something no one else could. The sky. The real sky. Not the synthetic dome with its flickering simulations. Not the programmed sunrises the government streamed into the upper zones. But the true sky, endless, aching blue that once stretched across the world like a promise. His name was Aven. He was 86 years old. And he remembered things that made the world uncomfortable. They found him one morning sitting at the edge of Dome 4, staring up at the panels that flickered with manufactured clouds. A small boy approached, curious. "What are you looking at, old man?" Aven smiled. Slow. Quiet. As if tasting something long gone. "I'm remembering what it used to look like." The boy blinked. "Like what?" Aven paused. Then whispered. "Like forever." Most people avoided him. He spoke in strange metaphors. Said things like the wind once sang through leaves, and rain smelled like forgiveness. He described stars that pulsed like silver candles, and storms that made the sky roar like lions. But no one else could recall these things. No files. No archives. No neural database. The event had erased it all. Some believed it was war. Others claimed it was nature correcting itself. Most didn't care anymore. The world survived underground now. Lit by artificial skies. Bound by algorithms. Safe, but forgetful. One day, Aven was summoned. The Central Memory Authority, those who governed neural truth, wanted answers. They scanned his brain. Probed his dreams. But what they found troubled them. Because deep within Aven's mind, untouched by age or decay, was a sky. Not an image. Not a memory file. But a living, breathing experience. They called it an anomaly. They called it impossible. They called it a threat. And so, they asked him to surrender it. "We can preserve it," said the director. "Upload it to the collective. Share your sky with the world, and then forget." Aven stared at the cold glass table. Then he asked softly. "If I forget, who will remember it as it truly was?" The director hesitated. "It's safer this way. No longing. No discontent." Aven nodded. Slowly. "I see. You don't want memory. You want control of memory." That night, Aven did not sleep. He sat alone in the garden chamber, one of the last with real soil. He held a small stone in his hand. Smoothed by rivers no one remembered. He whispered stories to it. About birds. And clouds. And sunsets so wide they made you believe in gods. And then, quietly, he slipped away. But here's the twist. Before he left, he encoded the sky. Not in data. Not in code. In a seed. A single, living seed, altered with memories only the earth would understand. He buried it in the soil of the garden. And smiled. Because the sky, you see, does not belong to databases. It belongs to life. Years passed. And one spring, yes, they still called it that. A girl found a tree growing in the garden. Strange leaves. Open branches. And above it, the dome glitched. Just for a moment. Blue. Real blue. Like a whisper breaking through steel. And the girl cried. Not because she knew why. But because something inside her remembered. They say the tree still grows. That it carries a man's dreams in its roots. That if you sit beneath it long enough, you'll feel wind that isn't there. You'll hear birds that no longer exist. And you'll look up. At a sky you've never seen. But somehow always loved. Because memory is not stored in machines. It lives in the soil. In the soul. And in those brave enough to remember what others choose to forget.